Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. I am going to go through my Victorinox knives, and I am just going to try and choose 10 knives to keep. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been debating if I really want to downsize my Swiss Army knife collection. I, at one time, had almost double this, and it was just a little overwhelming. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'll sell them all off. They're pretty inexpensive. And then guess what? I ended up missing them, and I bought a bunch later on, which is now. But I've been thinking about my collection and just what I have been carrying and what really works for me and what I really like to carry. And I've been thinking, you know what, 10 sounds about right. That's a real nice number. That's also a really good combination. You can probably take an ambassador on a trip, and then on the side you can take a huntsman. So, I mean, like on the side, you've got this, and then you've got this on your keys. So you've got a good combo there. Or you could take the Swiss Champ and then carry the Excelsior probably in your weekend pants. You know, you can just take this on a trip, and then you could carry this on the weekend of that trip if you don't need any tools. And then you've got something that's got everything. So I've just been thinking about what I've been carrying, what I haven't been carrying, and really what works for me. And I think 10 is a good number. So I'm going to first get these a little organized here. And I know that it looks a little crazy, but there is a little bit of order here of some kind. Now, of course, some of you guys are like, oh, well, why would you get rid of all your Swiss Army knives? We love your videos. We love what you have to say about them and everything. But, I mean, for me, that's kind of part of the journey. You need to taste a bunch of fruit to find out which fruit you really like. And sometimes when you aren't really having the other fruit, they spoil. And, you know, sometimes, you know, why not send these out to people that would enjoy them instead of them sitting in a case? You know what I mean? So for me personally, the Swiss Champ is going to be something that will stay in my pocket and in my EDC for a very, very long time. Okay, so we've got that one. I'm going to put the ones I'm keeping down here. You obviously are probably wondering, well, don't you have a Hercules somewhere? Yes, that's actually in my wallet, and it's in the living room, and that will be an empty space here. So I've got the Swiss Champ. I've got my Handyman. It's hard to give up the Handyman. It's really hard to give up that because, I mean, it's not much slimmer than your Swiss Champ, but this was also a pretty penny. It was one of the most expensive Swiss Army knives I had ever bought after getting the Swiss Champ. And for me, I think I will have to keep the Handyman. Here is the Tinker Small. And this is one that I really, really love. I love having this in my collection. I find this to be a very useful knife. I actually really do prefer the 84 millimeter versus the 91 because it's so compact. And when I'm doing some hard utility tasks, I can really wrap my hand around that handle and really put some power behind this blade. And there's no way this is going anywhere because my hand is practically engulfing the handle. So, I mean, that is one of the benefits of this. So, whereas with the 91 millimeter, you know, yes, my hand covers it all, but there's still a little bit sticking out there. So, well, let's not hide around the bush or anything like that. This one here is the Sportsman, and I've been carrying this all week. This week, you can see there are key marks It's been getting a lot of pocket wear, and so that is probably going to have to be one that I will keep. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is 10 really going to be enough? The Spartan Light. This is one that I really have justified to myself and to a lot of viewers. A lot of you actually have ended up picking one of these up because of just how good it is. I mean, it really is a very good tool to have, and I think it offers a lot. So I think I'm going to have to keep the Spartan Light, especially after getting new scales for it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway there. So personally with the Vangers, I have to keep the Commander. I believe this is the Commander. This is the one that I carried all through high school. I've got to carry this one and keep it because that is so sentimental to me. And then we've got this one here that is a heavily abused model, and I think this is a Commander or a I can't remember the names on these, but these are so fantastic. But the thing is this is essentially my Sportsman. I mean, that's essentially a Sportsman here. So this one here is the Wanger, and then this one's the Victorinox, and personally I think the Victorinox is built better. So I'm actually going to be putting this micro screwdriver back in here. So actually I am going to be taking this one because this is the original that went with this one. This is actually the patent original screwdriver, and it came in the Spartan Light because this was one of the original micro screwdrivers. So I'm going to put that where it belongs with the original, and then put this one with the Waiter, which brings me to another solid EDC. This is the Waiter, and I think that is definitely worthy of keeping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wow, really? So what we've got here, we've got the Huntsman. This is the Huntsman, and this is a very useful knife. We've also got the Field Master, okay? But over here, we have a Super Tinker. So this is a Tinker, and what makes it a Super Tinker is the fact that it's got scissors. But what is the point of having this Field Master if I'm going to have a Super Tinker? Or what's the point of having the Super Tinker if I'm going to have a Field Master? Because the Field Master not only has those tools, but it has a saw and it has your scissors. So it's going to be a very useful tool into itself. So I'm probably going to have to get rid of, as I mess up the spring, get rid of the Super Tinker. I just don't carry this one all that much. And if I had to go with something like that, but then could get something a little bit thicker and have some more tools, I would go with this. So I'm going to keep the Field Master and may keep the Huntsman. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof, man, that's starting to hurt. So the Cadet is a very useful knife. And for me, I find the Cadet to be one of those knives that is so compact, so thin, but you know what? It's one of those knives that is in Victorinox's range that is really overhyped. Personally, there are better knives, especially if you think about these Sportsmen that offer a lot more, and you get these scales that hold additional tools, and you can even modify those to hold more tools and even hide things within the compartments. So for me personally, this is a very limited tool, but it's still very robust. This is a Victorinox, a Wenger Apprentice, which is essentially a cousin to the Recruit, which Victorinox makes. And this one was a replacement for this one because the seller really didn't disclose the damage on this blade, so he sent me this replacement. So I don't know, I don't really carry this all that much because there's no tools on the back. This is a great camping knife, but it's not a very good knife for me. I do have a Victorinox Recruit, but that really stays in my office desk. It's just one that I abuse. So this one is going to be another one that I get rid of. We've got still 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Cadet is a very good knife. I think this is a very good one. Still thinking about that. This is the Pioneer X. And this is also a modified one. This one, I got rid of the key ring on the back there. And to be honest, if you do have a Pioneer X or even a Pioneer, get rid of the key ring. I noticed in hard use, using this outside, cutting up roots, cutting limbs off of a tree, that key ring back here really, after some time, will eat into your hand, and if you're not careful, will create a blister. So for me, I just removed that, and it feels and it works a lot better. And this is my second Pioneer X, because I sold my first one and I bought another one saying that I would never sell it. So I am going to have to keep that. So that is 9. What is my number 10 going to be? So let's get rid of the obvious ones that I'm going to have to get rid of. So we have the Tinker Small. The Tinker Small is really nice because it's a very compact knife. It's still going to offer you quite a few tools that are very useful, and still very capable. However, the fact that I use this Sportsman more and it has more tools, I actually I kind of opt out of using the 3D Phillips quite a bit and just end up using the corkscrew anyways. Not the corkscrew, the can opener anyways, just because it just works. I mean, this is kind of hard to get into some spaces, and this still doesn't offer very many tool options as compared to this, or even when you have a Field Master. I mean, it's still not too much bigger, obviously 91 millimeters, but it's not a reasonable sized knife where you would not have enough room in your pocket for anything else. So I mean, yeah, I would hate to get rid of it, but for me, this Tinker Small, it's a great knife, but I just don't carry it all that much, especially now. This has really been my go-to around the house and in the house. If I had to go, so this is the Spartan Light. If I had to maybe switch these out, because the Spartan Light, really the only thing that makes this special is it has the light and it has the 3D Phillips. And if you keep the Tinker Small, you have the 3D Phillips, but it's not inline or inline like this, where you can actually use it. And then if you need a little more torque, you can put it on its side and really get some power in there. This is obviously a better knife than this is. So, I mean, why get rid of something that's this good? I mean, it really is a useful little knife. So we've still got, so I have the Huntsman here and a little red lint from the packaging. I have the Huntsman. Sportsman is staying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 if you include the Hercules. I've got room for one more. So I have this Spartan, this white Spartan, and I bought this more to have as a size comparison knife. Okay, so the Spartan Standard is a very good knife to have as a size comparison knife. I've really made the small Inkosi and then the Spartan, my two knives that I use for size comparisons. I feel like they're two edges of the spectrum that people will be able to identify. This is that size, this is this size. And for me personally, I think this is a good one to keep around. But then you also have, I mean, this would be only kept around because it's a classic. I mean, the Spartan itself is just such a classic. It's a simple 2-layer Victorinox, offers quite a bit to the user, and you can still do a lot with it. But then I've got the Spartan Light. We've got the Ambassador. I like the Ambassador. It's a good weekend knife, but if I had to carry this or the Sportsman, I'd be going Sportsman on the weekend. So I'm probably going to get rid of the Ambassador. We have another Cadet. This is actually an older Cadet. This is from the 90s. There's no half stop on the bottle opener, so that represents it being a little bit older, whereas on the newer ones you have a definitive half stop. So I really want to hang on to these. Are probably gonna go. The Excelsior, especially since I just bought this one, but I kind of regret getting it. I just don't carry these absolutely that much to justify how many I have. This one is, I think, a Patriot. This is from Wenger. And this one here, I carry, but I don't carry it enough. And it's just something that it's unique, but it's just not something I'm going to keep in my pocket over something like this. The whole reason I'm making this video is because I really wanted to push myself to get rid of some of these, because a lot of these just sit in my case and I don't really carry them. And I just want to throw all of these in a container and just grab one randomly as I leave the house and just see what happens during the day. And with this many, it's kind of hard to do that. And I'm really happy that I'm doing this, because it's kind of forcing you to find out what you want to get rid of or what you can live without. So being around the bush, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, room for one more. I just bought this one. I just bought this one, and do I really want to get rid of it? I mean, I haven't even beaten it up yet. Do I have to get rid of it? Could I do 15? It kind of defeats the beginning of this video. But the Cadets, I just don't carry a Cadet all that much. And then this is essentially, the Huntsman is essentially one of the most perfect Victorinox knives you could have. I mean, heck, this is I believe one of the knives that they put as their ambassador. If you go to Victorinox in Switzerland, you probably see a poster with this knife all open and all of its tools out in all of its glory. And I think I have to keep that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 with the Hercules. So these are all that I have left, excluding a few that are at work or miscellaneous ones that I've kept out because they're sentimental. Yes, I could probably pull this one out and say it's a sentimental keepsake. Do I even want to do that? Do I want to do that? Do I want to cop out and say that this is reserved as a sentimental keepsake one? I think you guys would judge me if I did that. Do I want to do that? You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to throw this into my sentimental knives. I started carrying it recently, and I think I'm just going to throw it back into that case. Let me get that case real quick. Let me see here. So this is my Sentimental Knives case. And if you've sat through 20 minutes of this video, you're going to be rewarded here. This is a knife my aunt bought me when I think I was 13. This is my very first Swiss Army knife, which is the Fireman, and my dad bought me this one. So this is a special one for me. This is a waiter that I bought on my honeymoon in Rome. So, and the reason why I bought it is it had my birth date on it. I don't know who JF is, but I've had some luck with some JFs because the cadet that I have here is JF's. I mean, that's really crazy. I have a Soldier here. I have a Pioneer, which I bought on my honeymoon. I have a mint, an absolute mint Commander. This is it's as close to new old stock as you can get on a Wenger. And this one is stupid clean, never used, never sharpened. It is a representative of what Wenger used to be. So I have kept that. Then here are my Pocket Pals that I keep. These are all my rare ones that I've kept. And then here's my Mechanic. I've put that in my rare ones. And then I've put this Secretary in here because it's kind of hard to find a silver one. You can find red ones, but the silver ones are a little harder. And I think this is going to go back into here. I don't think you guys are going to judge me on that. It's the knife I carried all through high school, and I think it's going to go back in there. And you know what that does? It frees up a spot, which I think makes this a little more interesting, don't you think? I mean, we've got a free spot. So what am I going to fill that free spot with? The Alox is gorgeous. This Alox Cadet is just beautiful. I gave my nephew one of these as a going away gift when he went to college. And I told him, look, if anything you carry in your pocket, you've got to have a pocket knife. And I gave him a Cadet. And, I mean, that was a really special gift to give him. I really like the Spartan. I mean, it's classic. It's simple. If you're going on a trip and you just need a simple knife that will do a few things for you, the Spartan is the way to go. Definitely I'm going to be getting rid of these. The Super Tinker, I'll probably get rid of that because I've got the Field Master. The Tinker Small, I'll get rid of the Tinker Small. I mean, man, it's such a top knife, but you know, I don't carry it. Don't really carry this, don't carry that, don't carry this. I haven't carried this, but I don't want to get rid of it because these things are getting harder to find in the red. At least I think they are. And I know Tobias would love to have this. He's getting a red Alox collection together. But let me see here. The Classic SD and Alox, I carried this on my keys for a while, but my daughter likes to grab my keys and play with them, and I didn't really like the idea of having a knife that could be opened so easily. She does have motor skills good enough to open this, so I thought not keeping that on there was a good idea, and I just don't use it. It's just too small. That's one of the reasons why I got the Ambassador. I really think I'm going to stick with the Spartan. I think I'm going to stick with the Spartan. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the Hercules. So this is what I'm going to keep for my Victorinox collection. I know there are a lot of guys that are like, this is still a great collection. Why are you getting rid of them? You know, sometimes you just got to force yourself to get rid of stuff. You know, getting rid of things can be very good for the soul, the mind, and can be very good for y'all. Because guess what? All of these are available now. Just shoot me an email on which one you want. If you want to buy them all, you can. If you are so inclined, you can do that as well. But these are all fair game. We've got a Commander, I believe, a Super Tinker, a Tinker Small, an Apprentice, Ambassador, Patriot, Classic SD. We've got a Cadet, a Pocket Pal, and then another Cadet. So if you wanted to know what they were, that's what they are. Just shoot me an email or leave in a comment which one you want, and we can discuss pricing and shipping and all that. If I'm going to ship out of the US, there is going to be an additional charge for that. So there is that also. So thank you guys. I know this was a very different video. If you've sat through all of this, thank you so much. I hope I wasn't wasting your time, but this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I think it just keeps everybody kind of honest with themselves, keeps themselves from accumulating too much. I mean, we can all be collectors and still have a ton of knives, but I think it's good to look at your collection and be realistic with yourself and be like, this is really all I'm using and all I'm carrying, and it's really all I need. So why all this? So I thank you guys again for sitting through another video of mine. I'm sorry if this one was boring or was kind of random, but this is something that's been on my mind for a couple days. And I am also sorry I haven't been putting out as many videos, and maybe it comes through this video, but I have been overcoming a very severe cold. I've been sick for about a week, so this cold was definitely something that came through all the cold fronts that we've had through Texas. My body just was not ready for all those cold fronts. We went from 90 degrees to 48-degree nights. So yeah, that was a thing. So when I would leave for work, it was 50 degrees. And yeah, that can really mess with your body. So I've been kind of getting over that cold. And during that cold, I've been thinking about this. So thank you guys again for watching my videos. And if you haven't already done so, click that subscribe button. I think you guys would enjoy sticking around for the ride. So till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.